What's up, everyone? All right, it's Amazon favorites video time. I do these a few times a year. I do have an entire playlist, so if you're way into watching Amazon favorites and fail videos, I will link that below. I try not to repeat in each video, so it should all be new stuff. But this is gonna be the first time that I mention things that did not work for us, some fails. I might have sprinkled that into past videos, I don't know, at some point. I don't remember doing it, but I'm just saying there were 4 biggies that we ended up returning that we were super disappointed by. I think I've got something for everyone here. We're covering everything, and I cannot wait because I have some things that I really think are either gonna make your life easier, you're just gonna love, or it'll be a better deal for something that maybe you were thinking about buying. Okay, another thing I like to share is that I do have an Amazon storefront, and what that is a link down in the description box, and it has all of my favorites over the years categorized, so it's easy to find things that I would vouch for that I really, really liked that you may have heard about it, whether it's in this video or in past videos. And of course, any of my Amazon links, including my Amazon storefront, means that I may make a commission if you purchase anything through the use of those links, which goes to support my channel. So thank you ahead of time if you decide to use those links. Now, moving into the rest of the video, let's talk fashion first. So these earrings are finally back in stock, at least the day I'm filming this. They are these beautiful little golden toned braided hoop earrings. I love that they're the perfect size. I love hoops of all sizes and shapes, okay? It's my favorite kind of earring to wear. These are just so perfect because they're not super tiny, but they're not obviously huge. They're just the perfect everyday hoop, and I love the braided design. And they've been out of stock for forever. So they're finally in stock if you've been thinking about it. I just love them. I feel like they look high end, but of course they were like a little over $10. Another favorite is this necklace set. So it comes as a set together. They're separate necklaces though. So a lot of times I'll use this little paperclip chain with other necklaces I have, or I'll just wear this one alone, etc. So you can mix and match with them, but I love that you can get your initial. Again, these look so shiny and nice. And I've had these for a few months now, and I feel like a lot of my necklaces I've bought over the years, even when I first get them, just don't have that like shiny quality to them that I want. I want them to catch the light, but these really do catch the light beautifully. And again, they were so much more inexpensive than like other brands online that sell jewelry. And then another jewelry item is this ring here. So it's actually adjustable, and I've had it for a few months now, and I haven't had any issues with it tarnishing. I have other rings, actually this one is starting to tarnish, that I got at various stores that, you know, again, it was also inexpensive. This one's been lasting really well though. And again, I like that you don't even need to know your ring size because you can just stretch it in and out and just kind of make it fit whichever finger you want to wear it on. And I just think it looks so pretty and interesting. Let's move into tech and office type items. So this next thing is this wireless phone charger I have right here on my desk. I was asking you guys on Twitter a while ago, like, what is your favorite wireless phone charger that you feel like actually charges pretty quickly? And I got a wealth of responses, but a decent amount of people recommended the Anker one. I like that it's sleek looking. They have white and black. I went with the white one, and it really does charge my phone faster than a lot of the other wireless phone chargers I've used. I used to have, we still have it somewhere else in our house now, but I had a Samsung one that wasn't cheap, and it charges the phone, but it's just a little bit slower than I was hoping, and this one is definitely faster, so highly recommend. Another favorite is my iPad holder. I actually learned about this from Taylor Wynn here on YouTube. You guys know I love her. I'll link her channel below. You can move it to so many different angles, and yet it's super, super sturdy, and then you can fold it up really small. If you're taking it with you somewhere, it can fold really small as well. I just think it is so incredible. I have an iPad, and then I have the case that kind of folds into that triangle so you can set it up, and when I'm in a pinch, I use it that way, but I totally prefer having the stand. So I love that one, and it's gonna last forever. It is so sturdy. So another favorite of mine is my calligraphy book that I've talked about a lot. So I can link that one below. I'm trying to learn calligraphy. It's way harder than I thought it was. I mean, seriously, y'all. It's like way harder than you think. Sorry, the sun's coming in and out, but I'm just excited to see the sun today. So we're just gonna deal with it. Anyway, but what I really want to talk about are the calligraphy pens or like markers that I bought. They're highly recommended, highly rated, and they are exactly what I was wanting because when you are learning calligraphy, a lot of it is like, you know, the harder you push down on your marker or pen, the thicker the line should be, and that's how you kind of get used to that style. And I was just using a regular pen, and it was so hard because if you're using a ballpoint pen, you're just pushing down. It's not giving that effect that you want. These markers that I found on Amazon do exactly that. That is what they're made for, and they are so incredible, so high quality. Another thing I've loved in my little home office here is my, I don't know what it's actually called, a Happy Light, Happy Lamp. That might be like a name brand. The brand we have is Morocco. My husband has one in his office, and they have like one with a wood grain. The one I have is white. So they have different finishes, if you will, but they're so great because you can adjust the brightness, you can adjust how long you want it to stay on. If you're someone that suffers from like seasonal affective disorder, I know a lot of us do in some capacity, it supposedly can really help with that. And I have felt my best this past winter, and I really think I can attribute it to using that on days that it felt super gray, like in the first half of the day. It's just been amazing. Let's move into personal care. So my literally newest discovery on Amazon is this magnesium oil spray. If you're someone that deals with maybe restless leg syndrome, or where, your legs are just really bothering you at night, whether they're like sore. For me, some nights I can't sleep because it feels like my legs are like buzzing. I can't explain it other than that. And so sometimes I'll take like an NSAID, like ibuprofen or naproxen or something, but I don't want to have to take that every single time. So I'd asked you guys on Twitter, and a lot of you guys said, try magnesium oil or magnesium oil sprays. It might work. And y'all, it works. I will say though, since I tend to get itchier legs as well, it says you can use it with lotion. So I will spray it on, let it kind of sink in for a minute before bed. And then I'll go in with like a nice anti-itch cream that I would use anyway. And those two together are so amazing. So then my legs aren't itching, and my legs aren't like buzzing and sore and weird, and I feel like I'm sleeping better. Another thing, this might be a repeat, but I have to talk about it again. This little hairbrush cleaning tool. Y'all, if you are someone that you hate cleaning out your brush, but from time to time, you just need to. I know it's kind of gross, but I mean, it's just something a lot of us deal with, right? So this thing will actually grab the hair, and you can kind of pull it through, and it will pull the hair off and clean your brush out, and it is incredible. I tell everyone I know about these little tools. So I think the exact brand I have maybe isn't sold on Amazon, but there are a million of these that do the same thing. So I'll link one that's similar. I also really like this makeup organizer. I use this in my bathroom where I get ready each morning. It's a simple one. There are so many different plastic organizers out there, and Amazon certainly has 10 million of them to choose from. But this is one in particular that I found that I feel like is a really nice size. I can fit a lot in, and it's still functional. And so I figured I would mention it if you're on the hunt for one. I really, really like this one. Let's move into home items. So this is going to include stuff around the house, but also maybe some home decor things. One of the questions I get asked about in my direct messages and in comments all the time, I mention a humidifier that I love. First of all, if you use heat in your house, especially in the winter and the colder months where you live, that creates a lot of dry air, and that can really mess with your sinuses. So for me, for years, I wouldn't know why, all winter long, my nose would be stuffy and I'd have these headaches and all these issues. Turned out that the air was too dry and I just needed humidity put back in the air. So now our whole family is super into humidifiers, okay? We're all humidifier nerds. And this is the best one I found. So it's not crazy expensive. It is so easy to clean. You can just pour a dilution of vinegar in it, let it sit for a while, kind of scrub it out, and that's that. So the reason this humidifier in particular is amazing is because you fill it in the top. So we just have a little pitcher that's decorative that we can use for this each night. And we'll use the vase, fill it with water, and then we can just take the lid off and fill the humidifier without having to unplug it. The issue with a lot of humidifiers is you either have to unplug it to fill it, or you have to take the top off and then flip it upside down, unscrew the thing. And that version I've used for years, those kinds. And they're not only just kind of annoying to have to do that every night, but also they're really hard to clean. So I love that these are easy to clean, they're easy to fill, they're amazing. We have 4 in our household now, and I absolutely love them. So something my husband discovered, this is gonna be a long video, y'all. I can already feel it in my bones, is the sleek socket outlet. So what you do is if you have furniture that you would like to be against the wall, but you also need to have a lamp plugged in and whatever, typically then you have to bump the furniture out an inch or two so that the plugs can be sticking into the outlet, right? Well, with these, they're really, really flat. And so you plug that into the wall and it's flat against the wall. And then it leads down to an actual little thing of electrical outlets so that you can plug it in on the ground. It's so amazingly genius. I can't believe I didn't think about it myself. So we've bought a few and we have them in a few places in our house, but they're one of those things that solves a problem we all kind of have and no one really talks about, but it's really nice to have. So I think that's genius. And they have some with 3 outlets in it, some with 6, some that are grounded, etc. I have to keep stopping between takes because my nose is so itchy. Not the inside, the outside, just right there. All right, next thing I've fallen in love with is this book holder that I have on my nightstand. It is one that's kind of adjustable, kind of like an accordion, so you can make it wider or not quite as wide. And it even has a couple of separators. So I love that it just makes the books stand up seemingly on their own, but also keeps them together. If you've got a toddler running around the house that's messing with stuff, it's so nice to know that I can have a few books on my nightstand and they're actually standing upright. They're really not going anywhere, and it makes them look nice and neat. I have the white one. I think they have a black one as well. Moving into some more decor-like pieces, I bought this set of 6 amber glass like vases, and I'm only using a few in my house right now. It was such a good deal for them, and I couldn't find them individually for as good of a deal, you know what I mean? So what I did is I bought those, and then I also bought this set of like shorter, kind of pampas-like dried sprigs. I don't know exactly what pampas is. I don't know that this actually constitutes as that. I don't know. But the reality is pampas grass things, especially like the really big ones, are comically expensive, you guys. Like, if you've ever looked into it, unbelievably expensive. So these are just shorter, but they have that same kind of vibe and the similar look. And so I've been putting them in the little amber vases, and I think they look so pretty together. So you're getting a decent amount of like these little dried pampas sprig things and 6 vases. So you can really add decor into multiple areas of your home, which I think is so cool. And it is such a good deal for them. So we also have these fake plants. So here's the thing. We love plants, especially my husband. He's the one with the green thumb. So we have a lot of real plants throughout our house. But sometimes there'll be a certain room in the house that just doesn't get the right amount of light we need or whatever it may be. And so we will use fake plants when we feel like that is just going to do better in there, and it's still going to give the decor look that like we want, you know? Well, outside has also been an issue because like we like to have 2 plants on either side of our front door. We have some fake plants in the backyard to kind of form like a privacy screen. And so some of them, the ones we have on our back porch, I'll show you here, those we got on Wayfair, so I can link that below. I know it's not Amazon, but we also have these rounded ball ones that we absolutely love, and those we did get on Amazon. They look really, really nice. You know, you're not gonna ever have to groom them because they're fake, but they're able to withstand the weather as well. So I really, really like them. They're still a little bit expensive, but you're gonna have them forever. Another new fave decor piece is this mirror that we have in our entryway. It was around $90-ish, so again, it's still a pretty penny, but if you look into these kinds of mirrors elsewhere, like on Etsy and on other websites, they are like $200, $300, $400 for the exact same thing. And I loved that on Amazon, there were a lot of different options for like colors and things like that too. So I love mine. I feel like it totally pulled our little entryway table together, and it's just so pretty. It seems very, very high quality. Moving into one of my favorite categories, the kitchen. So my husband and I both absolutely love coffee. Like really, truly, madly, deeply do we love coffee. So we had bought a new Nespresso machine for like single serve coffee, and we really, really like it. That's what I'm drinking right now, actually. But we kind of use that more for I know this is gonna sound ridiculous, okay? Please know that we just really love coffee. We use that more for like our afternoon coffee, like I don't know. So we have an actual coffee pot for in the morning, and we'll set it overnight so that it's already brewed by 8 a.m. when we're ready to drink some coffee, etc. So we invested in this one from Brayville, and it is a coffee pot and grinder in one. And it was really kind of it's expensive. It's like insanely expensive, okay? But we love it. We love it. You put the coffee beans at the top, and they'll grind the beans for you based on how much water you put in and the strength level you choose. It will automatically use the right amount. The coffee in it is so good. And another thing we love about it, not only are you getting freshly ground beans with every single pot you make, but it's a 12-cup pot, which is great. That's a lot, and that's what we wanted. And the actual carafe that you can get with it, we got the thermal carafe, and that one keeps that coffee hot without burning it, because there's no burner underneath to give that like burnt coffee taste. Oh, it's so well like vacuum sealed. That coffee will stay hot and like perfect, not burnt, for like 10 hours. It's insane. It's a huge investment, but I wanted to bring it up because it is truly the best coffee pot we've ever used. All right, so one thing we use in our fridge that I love are these little Lazy Susan organizers. I got a 2-pack on Amazon. They're not expensive, but they're really, really smooth, and I like that the bottom of it really stays in place, so when you're spinning the rest of it, it's not moving the entire thing around. And so we like to use them in our fridge to hold some items in there like dressings. That way we can see all that we have instead of having a bunch stacked in there that we can't see in the back. With this, we can spin it around and see everything that we have. It has been such a game changer in our fridge, and I can't believe I hadn't thought to use one sooner, but I love them. I also fell in love with these little recipe card organizers. If you have like a recipe card box, definitely measure, make sure you get the right size, because there's a lot of different options on Amazon, but these are the ones that we have, and they fit our box pretty well. I love that they have a lot of different options. You can do it where like maybe if you use recipe cards to plan your meals for the week, you have days of the week, but then also you just have the classic categories, which is really what we use. And I just think they're pretty, they're really cute, and they're really useful for my little recipe card box. Okay, so one of our most used things in the kitchen is our silicone mat collection. We've tried a few different brands, but our favorite brand is from OXO, and we did buy these on Amazon. They're more expensive than the others, but the difference is that with these silicone mats, you put them on a baking sheet and then they're non-stick. So if you're baking cookies on it or you're cooking dinner, we'll put like roasted veggies on it. They don't end up sticking to the pan. Typically the pan, depending on what you're making, will stay clean underneath it. So then you don't even need to clean the pan. And especially if you're using it to replace like parchment paper, if you use that a lot, it's really good. But my problem was sometimes it really is messy and cleaning it could be a little bit tricky, but these OXO ones are dishwasher safe, and we have put that to the test a lot, and they are holding up beautifully. And the fact that they're top rack dishwasher safe is a game changer because the other brands we've tried that were cheaper weren't. And so they're just that much harder to clean. And then it's like, well, why are we even doing this? You know what I mean? So I'm just saying OXO, it's the best one we've tried. And then we also bought for like $4 or $5 a little, almost like a slap bracelet, okay? So if you have a slap bracelet, you don't need this. But it's one that you can use to go around your silicone mats to store them a little bit more easily. And I love it. We use it and it's just the greatest $5 I've ever spent for those. Okay, I couldn't do this video without mentioning my favorite cinnamon tea. I'm shocked I'm not, usually by this time of the day I'm drinking that. But Harney & Sons makes this cinnamon tea and they sell it on Amazon now. And now, like in the past month, they've started selling a lot of different versions of it, which they didn't used to. So this is really exciting. So the cinnamon tea was the one I fell in love with. It is so good, but they also have a decaf one that is just as good if you're wanting like tea in the afternoon or evening. And wow, we have both. We've gone through a lot of them. I finally started buying like the bulk packs you can buy, and actually I think Amazon now sells those too. All right, let me tell you about the worst items we've tried that we returned, and then I'll go into the toddler and kid items because I know not as many of you guys are into that. So one that I was so disappointed in, and I had such high hopes, was this leg elevation pillow. Okay. This is their like #1 bestseller. The reviews are insane. And I come from a long line of people that are very, very prone to blood clots, okay? Very scary stuff. Like no joke. My mom had one on a flight. It was terrifying. Like, okay, so I take it seriously. So I thought it might not be the worst idea to have just different options for things, and maybe a leg elevation pillow would be nice to use from time to time, like in the evenings, just to kind of prop my feet up. This one looks great, right? Looking at the picture, memory foam, everyone in the reviews was like, yeah, and it's firm enough so your feet aren't sinking into it. It's perfect. I'm like, great. And it wasn't cheap. It got to me and it was all, you know, kind of shrunk into a, you know, vacuum sealed bag, which that's not that crazy. A lot of things come that way. It never inflated fully, you guys. We had it for like 2 weeks. And it wasn't just, I wish I would have taken a picture. It wasn't just that it didn't inflate totally. It's that there were weird divots in it that just like, I tried everything, you guys, to get this to go back to its shape. Because I'm thinking, I don't want to have to send this back. I'm going to have to like stuff it into a bag and like try to find a way. You better believe I found a way to get my $45 back or whatever. I stuffed it into something. And when I took it to UPS, they just kind of looked at me because it was like bulging out the sides. All right, wow, this one really, really stunk. So we have a 2.5-year-old, and in the car, you know, we'll drive to like grandparents' houses and she'll just get restless. And so we like to keep some books and stuff in there. Well, we bought this back of the seat car organizer thing. And so we were like, oh, that's perfect. There's like this almost tray table-like thing that you can pull down. And I'm like, oh, and maybe when she gets a little older, she could like draw on it or color on it, whatever. Well, no. No and no. First of all, back of the car seat things only work if your kid is much older because in virtually any car seat, they can't reach it. They physically are nowhere near being able to like get their drink out of the little holder and stuff like that. So that was on me. But the next thing is this little lap thing that's supposed to come down. You could kind of tighten it and adjust it, but it was just so flimsy. It was so flimsy, you guys. So I'm like, there's no way as she gets older, we could like put a tablet on that because it would just fly back and hit her if we like hit the brakes. But on top of that, again, once she could reach in a few years, it's too flimsy to ever like really color on. So I'm like, it really was just one of those things that I'm like, man, all right, this one might surprise you because I'm pretty sure I talked about this in my Amazon gift guide for like the holidays. And so I feel bad because we've used it longer and we've changed our mind. I mean, you can't do anything about changing your mind. It is what it is. So I had bought my husband this mug warmer that was amazing because you could warm your coffee on it and it comes with a little mug you can use. But it said you could use other coffee mugs too and it would still work. I'm like, perfect, because we love our coffee mugs. So that was kind of important, right? And then it also had this charger on the side, a wireless phone charger. I'm like, wow, that's so cool. Well, there's a few things wrong with this we've learned. One, my first kind of thought, and I think I even mentioned this in the video, is, well, if you've got coffee right next to your phone, maybe that's not a good idea. You might spill it right onto it. So that was kind of problem number one. Problem number two is if you don't use the mug it came with, it really does not work. It just doesn't. We've tried it with different shaped bottom cups and stuff. It really just does not heat the coffee. It would take like 3 hours to ever even reach it, it seemed. So I bought him that one and he kind of liked it and he used it for a while. Then he bought me one because I was like, that's such a cool idea. And as I started using it, I was like, Tyler, I don't really like this. Like, I don't think it really works the way I need it to. And he's like, yeah, you're right. And we kind of talked more about it and we realized like neither one of us really like it. Okay, this one's on me. Buying fake flowers online is always tricky, okay? That should be obvious because fake flowers can either be really, really awesome or really, really crummy, right? Well, this particular one here, really, really crummy. I did return. It's kind of like the flowers on this dress. I loved the way these looked. I just thought it looked so beautiful. And I thought, oh my gosh, like how pretty would this be in a vase? And so I bought it. And when I got them, first of all, they were like this long. They were so comically long. But that aside, they just looked like really, really bad fake flowers. You know what I mean? And so I ended up returning them again. All right, so I'm going to go into the toddler and kid stuff now. If you are leaving, thank you for watching. Definitely check out my Amazon storefront. And if you want to watch more of my Amazon videos, check out my Amazon favorites playlist down below. I'll link it up in the eye as well. All right, so everyone else, thanks for staying. So first thing, these tempera paint marker things. So we had discovered them through a Love Every box and we love them. It wasn't this brand, it was like their own brand, but that only came with 5 and Gigi loves them because they're super smooth and they're just like fun to color. They're fun for me to color with. I can't explain the texture of them. They're paint, but they're in like marker form and it's really cool. But Amazon sells this huge pack and I actually bought this for my niece a few months ago for her birthday. And they're just so neat. So when we run out of the ones we have, this is totally what I'm gonna buy next. I can also link the notebook we would use with them that's kind of like a thicker paper for it down below as well. Another thing my daughter is loving right now are these little water painting books. Now listen, there are so many brands of this. We've tried most of them. There's like the Water Wow ones where you fill it with water and then you can kind of color with it. But she seems to really, really like this particular brand. She has this Minnie Mouse one she's been using and you fill it with water and it's more of like a paint brush. And she can squeeze it and some of the water will actually come out and then she can paint and she really likes that. Sometimes it makes a little bit of a mess and the water runs out quickly, but she loves it. And so I wanted to mention it because it's one of the few things lately that we've like introduced her to that she just will play with for hours, which anytime you can find something that they'll play with for like a long time, it's like the most exciting thing in the world, isn't it? Another thing we fell in love with is this one splat mat. You could use it for babies like underneath if they're learning to eat and they're making a mess, or toddlers too, they make a mess as well. Although we've got our Beagle Pinocchio going around like cleaning up after. This is amazing for using on the table or underneath them for like arts and crafts stuff. So she'll finger paint and stuff. I will literally lay this whole thing out on the table. Then she can make as much of a mess as she wants because I can just ball that thing up and throw it right in the washer. Or if she's got like sand or something on it, I can take it outside, shake it, fold it back up. Like it has gotten so much use. And it's insane to me that it took me until she was like 2.5 years old to even think to buy something like this. Obviously, you could use like a sheet or something, but it's kind of nice to have something that's just like designated for that, you know? She has also fallen in love with this little set of like counting bears. They're like rainbow colored bears and there's cups, so you can practice sorting. There's a lot of educational games you can play with it. You see these kinds of things in like preschools and kindergarten classrooms all over. But you can buy them on Amazon and it's a little cup. It's got like these little big tweezer things so they can practice like their fine motor skills and they can sort the bears. You can talk about colors. She's now kind of moved on from that and she plays with them in her other toys and she just likes that they're cute and small. I would say they may be choking hazard size, so I would, definitely monitor them, but she just loves them. So Amazon also sells like a toddler sized art smock that's waterproof. Again, you can just throw it in the washer when you need to. We store that with our little splat mat together, so anytime she's doing something messy, they both come out. And it's so great because there's little pockets, but it totally covers their sleeves and then it's cinched at the sleeve. So if she's doing something messy, it's not gonna get all over her clothes. But it's nice that it's more her size because, if we tried to put on like an old shirt of my husband's or something, it'd be way too big. So it's nice to have something that's just for that. So we, from time to time, make like fruit smoothies and stuff like that, and she loves them. And so we bought this little 3-pack of smoothie cups. They're absolutely unbreakable. And then we bought these silicone straws because the straws that it comes with, she'll walk with it, and it just terrifies me that she's going to be drinking and she's going to fall in the straw. I can't even talk about it. So we got these silicone straws on Amazon as well. They fit perfectly in those smoothie cups and she loves them. She feels like such a big girl. She knows she has to be a little careful with it because they're not like totally spill proof because there's the hole for the straw, right? But they're amazing. They're indestructible. They're dishwasher safe. We love them. Amazon also has these reusable sticker pads. They have so many different scenes. This is one. My daughter's had similar things. She doesn't have these exact ones, but we bought these for another niece of mine for their birthday recently. And they're just so cool because they're these big sticker pads that you can stick the stickers on. They can re-stick them. They can move them around on the different scenes. And again, it's one of those things that'd be great for being at home. They'd be great for the car ride, whatever. I just feel like reusable stickers is genius. My daughter is definitely into stickers right now. And that's just like the smartest thing in the world. How long was this video? Like an hour? It's gonna be rough for me to like try to edit this down. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. Let me know below, what things from Amazon are you loving right now? Did you buy something recently that you just felt like, wow, I need to tell everyone I know about this? You know, every once in a while you just find one of those gems. But if you're more interested in some of the clothing on Amazon, I have done a video. It was a little while ago, but I'm pretty sure all of the items are still available, where you get to see them on me and hear my thoughts on them. I'll link that video below as well. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end if you did. I hope that you'll subscribe. I do upload 3 videos a week. I do beauty and makeup videos. I do lifestyle videos like this. I do vlogs, all kinds of stuff here. I'd love to have you join our family by subscribing, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.